It's your boy Football Talk. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We have these 5 things just changed college football 26. Yes, sir. You heard it. 5 things just changed college football 26. Now, this title has already got me hooked in. Like, I want to know what these changes are. Let's see if I can guess. Ooh, the kicking, when you're going up for a field goal, they're showing like actual real, like how it will look in real life. I don't know how. Gameplay for sure. A little more balance. I'm not sure though what others. Maybe defense, something on the defensive side of the ball probably. But we are here to see what are these 5 things. Love you guys. Thanks for all the love and support. Let's get right into this. Let's go.
EA Sports made some really important and good gameplay changes to college football 26. So here are 5 big things that changed from the previous game to this game that you absolutely need to know about. The first thing we have to go over are stunts and twists. Now on the surface, these might not seem like they're that big of a deal, but I promise I'm about to show you that they changed the game in a big way. Now,
I'm not even a defensive guy, but I know this is a big one.
4D lineman set with all 4 linemen actually on the line, meaning none of them are standing up on the edge. So nickel over, for example, is a good formation for this. Notice how all 4 defensive linemen have their hand in the ground. This is what you want to look for. And one of the best stunts in the game that you can literally use on any play that has 4 down linemen is called the right text 2 man, which you could see here is the X button. But let me show you how to pull this up. Now you can do this on the play call menu, but I find right now that it seems to be a little bugged. I do think they're trying to work on something with that because it doesn't always trigger. However, when you're on the field, it will trigger. So to do this, once you break the huddle, you go left on the D-pad, you click the RB or R1 button, and then your stunts list is going to pop up. What you want to do is then flick over to the right 1 time with the D-pad, and then your right text 2 man will be the X button on Xbox or the square button on PlayStation.
The different sounds can be different buttons.
It's really quick to set up. Now what's going to happen is that outside defensive end is going to loop in, and I would say about half of the time you will get pressure with this. So this is a way to bring quick pressure without having to blitz. And if you don't get quick pressure, it's okay.
By the way, for any of you guys that maybe are not understanding why this right here get you pressure, for the offensive line, right? They have to communicate. All right, hey, right here. This is where we need to go. But because of, look how angled this guy is. He has the advantage. Because by the time one of these offensive linemen are able to try to pick him up, you got a guy right here. You got a guy right here. You got a guy coming off the edge. And the edge is always, especially in Madden per se. I'm not sure about college football, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. The edge is one of the toughest to block for the simple fact they have that speed. Now, if your offensive lineman it has good footwork and can really, use his size to his advantage, then that can be nipped in the bud. But say your offensive lineman is blocking all the way out here. A spin move or a little right there, now you got him coming over. Bam, that's meeting right there at the quarterback. Now that running back has to make a decision. Do I pick up this guy right here, or do I pick up this guy? 9 times out of 10, if it's like this right here, he's probably gonna pick up this guy. But then right here, it's easy money, right?
Still have a bunch of guys in coverage. So this is what it'll look like. He'll loop in just like this, and you may think, what is the O-line doing? Why do they look stupid? Well, this is the entire purpose of stunts and twists.
Facts.
It's meant to confuse the offensive line. Now, you're not going to get this to happen every single play. Sometimes the guard will recognize and pick him up. But the idea here is that the defensive tackle is going hard to the outside and the end is looping inside. That's not expected by the offensive line, which is why you're able to get through. So again, let me show you quickly how to set this up. Left on D-pad, RB, R1, right on D-pad, X button on Xbox, square button on PlayStation. Really quick, really simple once you get it down. And again, you'll see he's looping in free at the quarterback. Now, again, I'm going to reiterate, this won't happen every single time, but it will happen at least half the time, and it's supposed to. Now, to stop against this, you can
I definitely use this on third down
to the right, and that should help you pick this up. So it's all a chess game. It's what is your opponent doing? What do you?
But look at that. You see how you got the edge now?
Are not going to do that, and thus you can get easy pressure. Now, let me show you about the other important stunt that you absolutely need to know about. If you want to stop people that instantly scramble with their QB, this is going to shut them down every time. And we know in this game that contains
yeah, that's me.
Be broken. They don't work consistently. QB spies are good, but you still have to send the spy at the quarterback. Let me show you a stunt that
and he has to go through traffic.
Away. What you want to do again is go left on the D-pad, RB or R1 to bring up your stunts. What you want to do is go to the left on your D-pad. So basically we're going backwards here, and you want to select the right pirate 3-man, which is going to be the Y
right
or
pirate
triangle button.
3-man. Okay.
This is what the stunt's going to look like. That defensive tackle is going to stunt hard to the right. This is useful for people that like to immediately roll out with QBs within the first second or two of having the ball.
I gotta go on my little rant right here for a second. Who normalized as soon as you hike the ball scrambling out? Who normalized that? Why are you backpedaling 5 yards and then you throw it across your body and then you get mad at the game because you threw a pick? And what hey, you could say, well, Mahomes does this. Well, guess what? Mahomes is smart. Okay? Yes, he does those things, but he knows the risk and reward. That's the difference. You don't. As soon as you hike the ball, why are you going right, left? Like, why? Stay in the pocket. Now, if you feel like you can move out to the right or the left, okay. But when you do that, do not throw all the way across the field. Just don't. If you don't have somebody open or you feel like it could be picked, throw it out of bounds. I'd rather throw it out of bounds, punt the ball, and give myself a better opportunity on when I get back on the offensive end rather than throw a pick. Now they either score a touchdown off of it or they're in perfect field position to win the game or go up. Like, I never, like, and I used to do this, okay? So I'm not saying that, I used to do this a lot, okay? In Madden, a lot. But then I quickly figured when I started doing my Face of Franchise, I was just like, yo, why am I running out this quickly? I can't find nobody. I'm getting mad at the game because I am doing something dumb. Just stop it, guys. Okay? Stop it.
Watch what happens here. This is just magical. You're rolling out, and look, he's right there to meet
Look
you.
at the, like...
Again, left on D-pad, RB, R1. Left on D-pad again, Y or triangle button. Now, also keep in mind, you may want to sub a faster player in at this spot. A DT is usually not going to be that fast, so you might want to sub in one of your edge rushers here to have more speed.
I was just about to say that probably like an edge rusher would be good.
Roll out every single play. Just hit them with this stunt, and they're just going to immediately roll right out into this rushing pressure. And this
literally
is
right into their hands.
With a QB spy, you still have to send him at the QB. With this, the defender's meeting him right when he gets to the outside.
Now, if you quick enough, you could have thrown it to the running back, but
you want to do
a lot of us are not.
So we go left on the D-pad, RB, R1, and here you're not going to have to move anywhere because this option's actually on the first page. It's the RB or R1 button, left pirate 3-man. So this is just the opposite. The other DT is going to loop around to the other side. So this is what you would do if you're facing a lefty QB. Lefty QBs typically are going to roll left. Righty QBs typically roll right. Most QBs in the game are righty, so you're going to worry about the right pirate more than the left. But just remember, those are the differences. Now, if you are getting value out of this video, I do want to let you know that I have a membership where I post my ebooks, my highest level offensive and defensive tips. I just broke down an entire defensive guide based around using those stunts that I just showed you and just breaking down how to play the most sound defense in college football 26. And you can get a free trial for a week, so it's no cost to try it out. Link in the pinned comment below. Number 2, route committing. This right here will help you shut down receivers in man coverage better than ever before. So let's look at an example right here. Look at this tight end corner route. He's manned up one-on-one. This is a cover 1 defense. And I want you to notice how the tight end is going to get separation to the outside, and he gets a huge gain.
Yeah, he's definitely got that
advantage by pressing Y or triangle and then going right on the right stick to shade outside. But as you're going to see here, that's still not always going to be the best. We had an overthrow, but you see the tight end was open. Now with the route commit feature, we can either tell our whole defense to commit one way, or we can tell a single defender to. So if I want to tell my whole defense to route commit one way, I press the RB or R1 button. You see on the left-hand side of the screen, we have a route commit box. We can route commit inside or outside. So let's say I just want to commit the entire defense to the outside. I would go right on the left stick. And though in breaking routes will get more open, I can help take that away manually with my user, or I can leave this middle zone here and then say I'm going to take the deep zone and I'm going to user the middle. That way, if there are in breaking routes, I could be there to help clean that up, but I'm taking away the money route that our opponent would want to throw, which is going to be a corner. So now you'll see when you try to throw this corner route, you see how the coverage is much tighter and we get an interception. That is what route commit can do. Now, if I did want to just route commit the tight end,
I ain't gonna lie to you, you do that against me.
What I would do is press Y or triangle.
You got it.
I would select the A button on Xbox or the X button on PlayStation for the individual adjustment. Then I would pick the receiving option that I would want to route commit. So in my case, it's a tight end, so that's the A button. And then you can see on the left, the route commit options are there. I would go left on the right stick for outside. So now only he will have a route commit. Everybody else will play standard. So you can do it either way. But this is going to be really crucial if you're trying to take away money routes, like a corner route that someone keeps throwing, or a deep out route on the sideline that people like to spam. These are the type of things that will make your defense play much tighter, and you'll get more stops in college football 26.
Well, damn, you ain't really got nobody.
Break down today how to fully route commit
even with
versus
the running back
in my membership. Again, link in the pinned comment below. Number 3, safety adjustments. This is one of my favorite features added this year because this can really help you in certain situations. What you want to do is pull up your coaching adjustments by pressing the right stick in, and you want to scroll to the bottom and you can see that you have these different safety adjustments. Now, the one I want to focus on is depth. Where this can be helpful is versus the run. If you're facing someone that just loves to run the ball over and over and it's hard to stop, you can adjust your safeties to come close or even come tight to help defend this. Now, tight is going to be a lot more aggressive, and I would only do this if I know for sure that they're running.
Facts.
Or you could do close, which
like
is a little more balanced.
Like on the third and inches or third and one.
I use a cover 4 style defense just because the safeties are in run fits. And you can see how our safeties are in close. Typically, they would be, you know, more so like this. They'd be backed up a little further. But with them being close, obviously you could always manually do this on any play, but being able to set this at your play call screen just saves you time. Now, a lot of times versus the run, I like to shade my defense down, which is Y or triangle down on the right stick, because if they're running, if they're going to try to mix in a pass, sometimes they like to throw quick flat. So I like to take that away. And now if they're running the ball, you could see with our safeties being in close, it just muddies things up. They get into the lanes quicker, and
that's what you want. That's what you want your first line to do on defense. Muddy things up, make things nasty.
This safety is a lot further.
Don't make it pretty.
This safety
we need it ugly.
The same depth, but he's more inside. And if I want to make this even more aggressive, I can just walk him down a couple extra steps just to get him in better position. And again, if they're running the ball with the safety being there to help, you can see it frees up other guys to get to the running back quicker. And where else the close adjustment can be really big is versus people that like to throw seam streaks. So again, for something like this, I do like to pick a cover 4. Keep in mind that cover 4 quarters and cover 4 palms are matching defenses. But if we shade our defense down, which I like to do out of cover 4, that cancels the match. But look where my safety is. He's in perfect position. He's closer to the receiver, so it's going to be a little bit harder to throw a seam streak. Normally, he'd be a few yards further back, which means the seam streak would get to his spot on the field, and he would have a window because the safety would be too far back. But now, because he's up close, I'm not saying he'll defend it every single time, but he's in a lot better position, as you can see, to be right where the seam
Pick.
streak's going to go.
Threw it right to
Number
him.
4 is the untarget defender mechanic. Now, we've all seen this before. Double mug defense, mid blitz. Everybody is on the line. They bring the user down. Now, if there's no running back,
This is one of the most
blocker,
common things you
you're
would
supposed to
see.
get somebody in free because 6 rushers versus 5 linemen, that's an extra guy. But as you saw there, we had a couple
Unless you
guys
got a
in free, 'cause
really,
sometimes
really
that just
athletic
happens when you
quarterback
overload
that
your
can make a
line.
guy
so what
miss.
people do is they block their running back, of course, but people on defense combat this by bringing their user into the box. They'll either keep them manned up on the running back or even blitz them down just to try to confuse the O-line, because now if I'm in the gap like this, and even if I'm blitzing momentarily, the offense does have to respect the fact that there's 7 people rushing. So 7 versus 6, you still have an extra rusher. The problem is a lot of times this user defender doesn't actually rush. He just tries to
I was
confuse
just
the
about to say
line,
that.
drop
Yep.
back into coverage, and you saw we still got a guy in
Facts.
free. The reason he's coming in free is because momentarily I'm standing in the middle with my user, so the center has to acknowledge me, which means the running back has to now slide in to pick up somebody else, and that leaves the guy on the edge free at the QB. Well, finally, there is a mechanic to take care of this. Now, you're still going to have to block the running back because the whole thing here is you still need that extra protection if they're blitzing 6 guys. So you would first block your running back, but now what you want to do is you want to untarget the user defender because you basically want to tell everybody that, hey, this guy is not a threat. I don't believe he's rushing. Ignore him. So to do this, you just simply flick up on the right stick and you'll see this little yellow icon pops up and you can move it around with the left stick. So you want to put
You know,
this
I never
over
actually
that
knew
user
what this
defender and
yellow
then press
thing
the
was.
A button on Xbox or the X button on PlayStation. So now we're able to pick up the blitz, we can deliver a pass, and we can actually pick up yards, and now we don't have to worry about our O-line getting faked out. Now, do keep in mind, a user could decide to actually rush with this guy if he catches on to what you're doing, in which case, somebody's going to come in untargeted because you told them not to target that guy. But that's just the chess match at that point, and he
But
just
if you're playing
outsmarted
against
you.
CPU
But
more
also, if he
times than
does
not,
that,
they're
that means
not
the middle of
gonna-
the field will be wide open. Hey, if you're getting good value out of this video so far, all I would ask is that you subscribe and turn the bell icon on. That way you stay up to date on all of the best college football 26 tips all year long to help you win more games. Number 5, this is another important one that you need to take advantage of, and that's quick
Alright, we on
slide
number
adjustments
5.
for your offensive line. In past games, you would have to hit the LB or L1 button and then press one of these sticks a certain way to shift your line. It would be a prolonged animation, it would be an extra step, and when you're trying to get an adjustment off maybe at the last second, it would be almost impossible to do this. Now, why is this important? Well, right here we can see if we show our coach cam, we've got a standard protection from our O-line. You can see all of the O-linemen have those little white lines and they're all going directly backwards. But let's say we see somebody for whatever reason, they're shifting heavy to one way and like they're bringing this guy down, they shifted their line this way. That could mean they're maybe blitzing this guy off the edge. So what we would want to do is slide our line that way to take advantage of this. If they're not doing any type of shifts or if they're not heavily favoring one side of the line, we would just leave things standard. But right here, there's good reason for us to believe that we need to slide right. There's no extra guys on the left, so it shouldn't really hurt us to slide right, or maybe just half slide to the right. So with the right stick now, you can half or full slide either way on the fly really quickly. So if I want to half slide to the right, I just flick my right stick to the right once, and now you'll see that we have a half slide. If I want to do a full slide, I flick it to the right twice, and now you will see it's a full slide.
Okay, so right twice
Same
is
thing
for
the
full.
left. One time, half slide. 2 times.
That's something I'm gonna have
full
to keep in
slide.
mind.
So if I see them shifted this way, I might want to just do a half or full slide to the right just to help out because it looks like they could be bringing pressure from that way, and they are. We're able to pick it up and deliver a pass, and we were able to do this
Great
very
pickup
quickly.
right there.
Make sure you take advantage of this.
Okay, this is pretty defensive focus. Towards the end, we got some consequences. Me personally, I'm not a defensive guy, but I know just enough to, you know, do my thing. You know what I mean? Obviously, there are gonna be times where a lot of times where I get beat. Don't get it wrong. Do not get it wrong. But the times that I'm really like that, lockdown, yeah, that's him. Lockdown, yeah, that's him. That's A. Come on now. But I absolutely did learn some things, especially when it came to the offensive line, like shifting your offensive line to the left or to the right. Like I did learn some things from that. Hopefully you guys did learn some things. Also, love you guys and see you guys in the next one.